I guess my point, like, I don't really care about Portnoy. Obviously, he's going to be irrelevant when this is all said and done. But like, don't you think that even again, the most shortest of short-term people that maybe came to crypto just for a quick buck and don't really care about crypto at all, once they've already kind of gotten into this, and you alluded to this earlier in the show that you have to be burned like once somehow, and I think we all do in some form or
Yeah,
fashion.
sure.
But don't you think they're like getting into this, they're getting involved in it, and they see what maybe it could be, and they get exposed to this trash? Don't you think they're going to want to come back and see, like, is there anything, actually worth it in this industry, and come to something like PulseChain or Hex, or understanding what a DEX is and what PulseX does? Like, don't you, or even if it's stuff that's built on Ethereum or something, anything that isn't just short-term meme scams, don't you think there's going to be holdovers there? And especially, I mean, we know the people that are in Solana are going to be selling the lows of it. I mean, they're probably holding now, and I know they have like all the conviction in the world, and now they look like the psychos, and they're going to continue to look like the psychos like we've looked like for the last
Sure.
4 years. Difference is we haven't gotten our pump yet, but they're going to look like that. And I wonder, because they all are such Jeter short-term people, they'll probably just sell the Solana lows as it continues to dump here, and rotate into ETH, rotate into Pulse, rotate into whatever Phantom's new thing is or whatever later on,
Yeah, the problem with that is, though, they've got so much less economic energy than they had to begin with, unfortunately. So, yeah, I mean, all we can do is continue to be loud, continue to preach that, listen, our founder hasn't sold anything. He's not going to sell anything. We don't have VCs dumping on your heads that are unlocking tokens every other day. We don't have a lot of those negative externalities. Yes, we have some whales. Yes, they have big bags. Every chain does. But, it's not massive amounts where, the company itself is having to sell to pay for buildings and staff and things like that. Like, this is, it's a totally different organic chain that is I feel like a safer haven. Yes, we haven't pumped yet. Yes, things are down, but they're down everywhere. But people, unless they've sold, they haven't lost out on anything. It's kind of like that old Trevon thing. Well, you haven't lost your money. I don't know if you remember that thing where BitConnect went down, but you haven't technically lost your money if you haven't sold. But
yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, all we can do is just be consistent, which we've been. Hell, we're going on what, 3 years now of you and I streaming, or at least creating 4 years.
4 in September, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we just need people out there that are doing the same thing and continue preaching that this is the right place to be with the right founder. We've got to wait for this case. Something's got to happen soon. We got to wait for Auntie Carol so that the chains and the shackles can come off.
I really don't think it's that at all, to be honest with you. I think it's just purely Ethereum. I mean, I think if you were putting weights on those things, I think it's about 90% Ethereum, maybe 10% that. I just don't think that that's going to do very much. I mean, yeah, maybe for short-term pumps or whatever, but I mean, ultimately Ethereum being 8K or something is going to be different than, like, do they have jurisdiction or not? Are we going to, you know what I mean? I just don't think anybody cares.
I still think there's money on the sidelines that it's waiting. Waiting for a verdict, waiting for Richard to start streaming, there's several things that will happen if that first scenario plays out.
So, yeah. I think in the short term, yeah. I just don't think that where Pulse will ultimately go is so much influenced by that case or anything. I just don't think it's going to matter that much. That's just my opinion. But, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what the Solana people do. I mean, I think it's going to be. I do look forward to, anybody that is scamming and doing insider trading like that. I want to see them get their comeuppance, obviously. So we'll see how that goes over the course of this year. But yeah, they definitely have seemed to have an irrational good last year. So we will see.